Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we're going to be looking at the Tier 7 Russian premium tank destroyer, the SU-122-44. Now, I've had the 122-44 for quite a while. It was probably one of the highest, one of the first, if not the first, high tier premium that I got myself. I don't have much XP on it at the minute. I did used to use it for sort of converting a little bit here and there just to get upgrades on tanks when they were stock. And then I've just not really been in it much at all, really. I don't know why. I think possibly, I think I mentioned before, I just got a bit fed up with this gun because it is on a lot of things, and it was on a lot of things that I had as well. So, yeah, just got a bit tired of it. Anyway, Tier 7 Premium Russian Tank Destroyer. It's Russians versus Germans this weekend, so that's one reason why I'm looking at it. Another one is because I can't believe I've not done it yet. And it sits in the tech tree at 6,750, so this one is always available. It has 840 hit points, and obviously with it being a tech tree one, you can put camo on it. That's something that I have been asked to mention, so there you go. And yeah, I mean, I do like it. It's a very nimble, mobile tank destroyer, and it packs quite a punch as well. It's based on the T-44, the Tier 8 Russian medium tank, so it's got a good top speed, good traverse speed as well, but it's got that big 122mm Russian gun, so we'll have a look at that first. And yeah, so you've got a rate of fire of 7.5 rounds a minute, a bit less than the ISU-122S, and might be a bit less than some of the tech tree ones, or about the same as some of the tech tree ones with this gun. But anyway, it's a damn good rate of fire at 7.5 rounds a minute. Standard 175 pen, which is standard for this gun. It's a variation of the D25, and 390 damage, 217 on your premium, and then 64 530 on your HE rounds. You've got a 2.9 second aiming time, which is slightly on the longer side, and an accuracy of 0.41, which isn't brilliant, to be honest. It's fairly poor, and it can troll you a little bit at distances. But you've got a very good hull traverse of 42 degrees a second, but you are cursed with that poor Russian view range at 330 meters. But you do have a decent signal range at 700, so you shouldn't have much trouble keeping in touch with the rest of your teammates. It does not get preferential matchmaking, by the way, so it does see up to Tier 9, which is fine. It can handle Tier 9. It's got fairly decent armour on the front, and as you can see, it's really quite well sloped. Ammunition costs 1,025 for your standard armour piercing rounds. It is a big gun. 4,800 for your APCR, which are your premium, and 608 for your high explosives. Equipment wise, well, I've got a camo net, I've got a gun laying drive, and I've got a gun rammer. It's got a great rate of fire, so why not make it even better? Always take a gun rammer if you can. Gun laying drive to improve the aiming time because it is fairly poor. And camo net, I don't know. I think I'm possibly tempted to take that off and put vents on it, although it does help. You know, it's one of the ways you can play this is basically get to an early spotting position, set up, put your shots in, and then get the hell out of there because you're fast enough to. When you're top tier, you can actually be quite aggressive in this because the armour can bounce quite a few shots, and it can work quite well on city maps when you're top tier. But you could, like I say, take the camo net off, put coated optics, binoculars, maybe, even, like I say, vents. Skill-wise, well, sixth sense, camouflage, situational awareness is definitely a must. I've got muffled shot on there, and I'm also going for clutch braking because the hull traverse is so good anyway. Why not just make it that little bit better? Because, you know, with some practice in this, you can kind of brawl in it in the second half of the match. It is fast enough, and, you know, it's nimble enough too. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the modules. Oh, by the way, the bonuses on it are 44% silver and 20% XP. So yeah, it earns quite a bit of silver as well. You've got a 500 horsepower engine, which gives you a decent power to weight ratio of 15.29 and a forward top speed of 47.5 kilometers an hour. A bit slow in reverse at 13, but you do have a slightly lower 15% chance of fire. The engine is in the back. It's fairly large and takes up most of the sort of dropped back there with the engine deck, and there is that portion in the front as well, in the sort of right hand side of the tank. Your gun doesn't have particularly good elevation and depression stats though, only 16 degrees of elevation and only -4 of gun depression, which is an issue, so you do have to be aware of that and sort of play it accordingly. Terrain resistances aren't bad though, 1.2 and 2, and the tracks are a fairly solid block, and don't forget they're like spaced armour. Radio is in the left hand side of the hull, just in the slope bit there, you can see it. And ammunition blocks, well, they're mostly at the back. They're actually fairly hard to hit in this. You've got two very small slim ones right down at the bottom corner of the sort of upper superstructure, and the main one runs across the breadth of the tank, so it is quite a small target from the side, but it's basically where you can see where it is. It's sort of the bottom rear corner of the superstructure stretching down into the tracks. Crew members, you've got 5 in here, the driver down in the hull, and then you've got the commander just under that very small cupola, and then the loader and the gunner sat in the superstructure as well. Alright, armour wise, this is where it gets quite interesting. Oh, and the concealment, it's not bad actually. It's not the best, but it's not bad. 0.38 stationary and 0.23 moving. Well, armour, you've got 90mm on the front, you've got 75 on the sides, and 45 on the rear. And that 90mm on the front, you can see, has got a very, very good slope to it. You do have to hide your lower glacis, but you know, in which tank don't you have to do that? And but at medium range, and again, like I say, when you're top tier against the lower tiers, even at close range, you can bounce a lot of shots. When you're not top tier, you want to stay at sort of medium. So long range is probably the best bet. Now, 1-20 is your tracks, which are fairly usual. Like I said, they act as space armour. Your whole engine deck and the top of your superstructure and commander's hatch. Oh, and the floor of the hull as well. 31-50, well, that's the rear. It's the just basically the more or less the whole rear of the tank, the whole rear of the superstructure fall into that category. And then 71-90, well, it is pretty much what it says on the tin. 75 all over the sides, and you do have a bit of sloping to the sides. 90 on the front, and very good sloping there as well. Now, if you're trying to hit one of these from the front, the commander's hatch is very small. Well, obviously, if you're trying to hit it from the front and you're bouncing, if you can't go for the lower glacis, you want to go for the driver's viewport there. It is the same thickness, but it's a lot flatter. So if you are struggling to get through the front of these, that's the place you want to be hitting it. Otherwise, try and get around the side of it if you can, or go for the lower glacis. And then you've got the gun mantle, which is nice and thick and falls into the 91-120 bracket. And you've also got that ring of thicker armour just around it. So sometimes if you can plant yourself up against the corner of a building, hide your sort of driver's viewport, and you very much sort of limit what they can actually shoot at. It's the gun mantle or a bit of the very sloped superstructure. So that's sort of another way you can do it as well. Now, I think that about covers it. You can just see where the commander's, the driver's sort of view bit is there. It's that box. That's the flatter part you want to be going for if you are bouncing off the front of one of these. Yeah, and I think that about covers it. I've covered equipment, skills, all the bonuses and everything else. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay and see how it actually handles. Right, so here we are for the first replay. It's a tier 7 match. It's on Ensk, so on top tier, and they're just a couple of sort of steady, casual games, really. But I think they do show its sort of strengths and weaknesses. This one's a tier 7 match. The next one is a tier 8 match. Now, platooned up with my wife. She's grinding through the T29 still, and she's quite happy that they've added that new 90mm pack as one of the sort of options with the top engine, because it means you can carry on with the 90mm but have the top engine until you unlock the 105 now. But we're back to this now. We were going to go out into the field, but well, most of the heavy tanks, in fact possibly all of them, have sort of headed over that way. In fact, no, most of them. So it was looking a bit sparse over in the town, so I mean, we decided to swing it around and both of us head back this way, because normally, well, as most of you all know, there's quite usually a push down the one line down that street, and yep, there you go. Medium tank, heavy tank, another medium tank, and all we've got at the other end is one medium tank, and you know, he's making a good effort, he's putting up a good fight. He seems to be bouncing most of the shots, but I think I need to try and get in there. And I was a bit at this bit at first, but then I saw they were mostly tier 6s. I did take some damage from something, so I've just pulled back a bit, trying to hide a bit of my tank. But as you can see here, they are just sort of bouncing now. And I'm just waiting for the reload. Can I get him? Yeah, I just managed to clip him as he disappears. But that's 2 hits from this, and he's nearly dead. Potentially, could have been dead. My driver gets knocked out, though. Oh, just missed one there. Pulled back a bit. I'm just trying to keep as much of an angle as I can to the hull, but it doesn't have a particularly wide gun arc at the front, unfortunately. And my driver gets taken out again, so I have taken a bit of damage here. I'm not sure if there's any red traces coming in there. I find it difficult to tell the colour of these, obviously with me being colourblind. But that T-43 has backed off a bit. I thought that was a bit of a dodgy shot, and yeah, it was. But he's pulling back. Is he going to give me a view of his turret? Yes, he is. And I managed to take him out, but unfortunately my driver is down. So you're not really going to see much more of the speed or mobility in this match, unfortunately. But we've got a decent lead. We've got a 4-tank sort of lead. And then a poor AT2 comes around the corner. I say poor AT2 because he's really going to struggle to pen me. And yeah, I do feel kind of bad for the guy. Just wait for the reload. There we go. So as you can see, when you're top tier, like I say, you can be quite aggressive now. Oh, the Tiger won. And unfortunately that one went slightly high and just hit the corner there and bounced, and I took a hit in return. That one went in and he's bouncing now. I know he's not fully upgraded, so I don't know if that was a lucky shot or a good shot, the first one, but he's bouncing now. He's tracked me. I'm hoping to reload before he does. But we reload at the same time. So, yep, an eye for an eye. But the match is just about over, and it did end in a victory. I think there are only 2 tanks left. So I came out of that with a nice amount of silver, 86,000, just under 5,000 for the daily double, a high caliber, just under 3,000 damage done, and just over 2,700 damage blocked as well. It has got quite good armour on the front, 3 kills, and that one put me top of the table, so I was quite happy with that match. And it didn't even really appear as though I did that much, or it didn't feel as though I did that much when I was playing it. But that's how it is in this tank, and I've seen people have some amazing games in this. Now, here we are for the second one. It's tier 8 match this time, not heavily tier 8, there's what, 3 on each team. But the point is, I'm not top tier, and I'm probably going to come up against a couple of tier 8s, I think. But yep, we're on Heilbronn this time, still platooned up. And like I say, with some practice, especially in the late game, you can really be aggressive with this and almost brawl in it. You don't have the turret, but you do have a very good hull traverse. So it's you know, it does take a bit of practice. But you've just seen sort of how aggressive you can be when you are top tier, especially against the lower tiers. And this one, I've got to play it a bit more cautiously, and I can't remember if it's in this match you see the sort of accuracy troll me a little bit. But again, it's just you know, it's nothing spectacular, just a bit of a steady casual game. Like I say, my wife, I think she's in the possibly in the T29 in this match. Again, I think, yeah. So she's trying to sort of grind that out. I thought I'd jump in this, get some footage for it. So yeah, but like I say, I think it shows the strengths and weaknesses of it. I mean, you saw that I bounced off the Indian Panzer's upper glacis with the first shot. Second one went in. But in tier 9 matches, you probably are going to have to fire some HE ammunition. My ammo loadout, in fact, I've just noticed, is quite unconventional for me now. I very rarely take that many HE shells. I think I did take them originally because it'll see tier 5. It's got fairly high pen on the HE, and it does a lot of damage with them. So, in the matches where you are top tier and you've got tier 5s in there, the HE can do a lot of damage to those tier 5s. But really, I think I'm going to drop some out, take a few more APCR possibly for the tier 9 matches. It's not quite accurate enough to aim for weak spots at range, so you do occasionally, like I say, have to fire a bit of premium. Now that was a very good solid hit on the T-34-85, set him on fire, and I was actually just waiting to see if he would burn to death, and he doesn't, so I put him out of his misery. But yeah, that was a very good solid hit. There's nothing worse than coming around the corner in a tier 6 and getting hit by, well, by something like this. Now, you saw there though the OI, I did just clip it, it went wide, and that was a bit of a risky shot, but it did just dip and hit the floor as well. Now, can I hit that Rudy? It's a very dodgy shot. No, I missed him. I thought I would. Now the OI, I'm hoping to go for the corner there where the ammo rack is, but as you can see, the shell just goes wide and down. And it, you know, it's not even that big a range. Well, say 300 meters, but that was a nice solid hit. That one went through. I did take a, well, I took a hit from the side, but it looks like my tracks ate it. And I'm just keeping an eye out. I just keep getting spotted. And I'm pretty sure it's by these guys down here, but that shot did come in from over on the right. So I'm just keeping an eye out. Looking back for the OI, aiming up for the commander's hatch. And, of course, the shell goes wide and high. This is, yeah, this is the match I was thinking about, where it does show that sort of trolley accuracy. But it also shows the speed and mobility as well, which I didn't actually get showing in the last match. One, because I didn't go very far. Two, I had my driver killed twice. Now, I'm planning on possibly putting a shell into this guy, but I don't think I can see him. Nope, and he's done. And also trying to flank these guys with these mediums. Like I said before, when you're sort of in late game and you've got these damaged enemies and you've got a bit of backup like this, I wouldn't advise going in against, you know, a tank like that on your own with it when he's got as much health as that. But if you've got a bit of backup, you can actually go in and start being really quite aggressive. Well, aggressive for a tank destroyer, should I say. But it's just waiting for that aim time. Like I say, the 2.9 seconds, it is slightly on the long side there, and I really did think I'd taken that 88 out, but I didn't get the kill. There's a Black Prince up on the hill. I am aware of the T-34-100 behind me, and I'm keeping an eye on him. He did appear to be busy with the tank destroyer, and I thought the tank destroyer might be able to handle him or take him out, but he's dodging backwards and forwards and making it as difficult as possible, which is understandable. And yeah, really should have waited for that one to aim. And here comes the T-34-100, but I don't have to wait too long for the reload, and it's enough to catch him. I do take a hit from the SU-100 though, but he is above me, so that's going to reduce the angle on my frontal armour and make it easier for him to pen. And, of course, I missed the Black Prince. Right. Now, I've got to keep an eye out for that SU-100. I am aware that he's still up there. And I do finally manage to hit the Black Prince, ironically, when he's not even showing, and then turned a bit too early and took one in the side from him. But I'm going to try and get under the SU-100's gun a little bit. There we go, and if I can just get up here, I can take out the Black Prince. Fingers crossed anyway. But no, Artie takes him out. No, not Artie. I'm not sure what that was. That shell kind of looked like it dropped down on him. But the SU-100's been dealt with as well, so now there's just two heavies left. We've got a Fatherland and a Kaiju. So I decided to do a couple of little stunts on the way there. Right, what have we got here? Is this the Fatherland? I think it is. We've got one heavy who's gone to cap, and I think we're actually quite surprised by the fact that he'd gone to cap at the time. And it's a Tiger 2 as well, on a pretty good amount of health, so, well, you know, it's his choice, but it's a very surprising choice. personally, if I was in a Tiger 2 with that much health at this point in the game, I'd be getting in there. And this is where I cock up. I pull over, waiting for the aim, but the Fatherland turns around. Yeah, I'd figured on being able to take a hit from the Fatherland at least, and sort of then hit him, pen him, finish him off. I would have reloaded way before he would have. But yeah, the Kaiju popped out of the city down on my right flank and just, well, annihilated me. But I came out of that with just over 2,000 XP and just over 2,000 damage done, and top of the table in a tier 8 match. So yeah, not too bad. Not a brilliant match, but quite a nice steady one. But only 6 penetrations out of 17 fired and 10 hits. So trolley accuracy. Anyway, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Back to tier 10, I think. The sort of Road to tier 10 series. So yeah, that's it really. So I'll be, like I say, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.